You are now tuned to Robbie Rob's After Party. Get ready, baby.
This is a Bunker TV pro-black SYSBM production.
And just in case you wonder what went wrong, we'll say that we're sorry for keeping you waiting so long. Now countries and little kids try like some lion, drag like pulling on my cake. Massive meltdown, bring the red tape. Back up, picked up, swoop up the bass. New LP, time to make hits. Get the album to single CD and tapes. Styling, profiling, smiling, fuck wildin', as the dope keeps on piling. Somebody's knocking at my door. Who is it? Somebody's ringing my bell.
Shoulda let him in, oh, what the hell?
Flipping my wig like I never did before.
Got more than the mighty Thor.
Recently the dirty, I'm out the door.
What up, y'all? What up? I already know, Bunker TV. Yeah, so this episode is going to be dedicated to all my brothers out there. All my unabashed pro-blacks, not pro-wax. All my brothers with that no-pill mentality. Word. Black identity extremists need love too, you heard?
There's no one to select the rhyme and you'll find that you are able to match my professional blend. With red nights by my side, I'll continue to ascend. Moving on up to the lyrical length. I'm like the alpha, omega, my rhymes with excite.
So y'all know the subject matter, right? Y'all see the title. This is a response video. Yeah, to my brother Roger, you know what I mean? He just recently did an episode titled, "Is SYSBM the patriarchal response to matriarchy?" You know, it's the hottest topic in most of the male manospheres right now. These men's suffrage movements. It's MGTOW, Igmore, red pill ideologies, alpha male strategies, and SYSBM. Save yourself, black man. But nobody wants to admit there's a gender war, right? Yeah, but like I said, I recently came across a content creator who did a very interesting video. And like I said, it was titled SYSBM, a patriarchal response to the matriarchy. So that's the question. Is SYSBM a patriarchal response to the government-sanctioned matriarchal cloud that hangs over black men's head? And I say yes. It is. And that's why you have so many men's suffrage movements, even in the white male community, which is mainly MGTOW, men going their own way. But that's bled into Igmore, introspective black men of reform. And everybody's red pill. But look at Morpheus.
Nobody thinks to this.
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 So, first question is, does anybody know where feminism comes from? You know, we talk about feminism and all of that. Where does feminism come from? It comes from the same place as the welfare industrial complex and the prison industrial complex. You know, it's a social engineering tool created in a small hat think tank. It's the new communism. It's what America feared in the 40s and 50s, but in a different form. You know, and feminism is going to have more of a destructive effect on this country than communism. But like I said, it is communism. So where the race war don't fuck shit up, the gender war will. You know, so now, you know, all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you know, black men, we're being shamed from all corners of the earth, right? Whether we beta males or we pookies, shit, having an education, you still get called lame. Deadbeats, weak, self-haters. You know, damned if we do, damned if we don't, right? So even though black women are out here praising the matriarchy and do everything they can to undermine the patriarchy, you know, did I say that right? So even though black women praise this matriarchy and do everything under the sun to undermine the patriarchy and their men, their sons, their husbands, and their brothers, you know, black women go out here and write hundreds of books and go on countless daytime talk shows for the world to hear and say that they are divesting from black men. They don't want to be bothered with black men. They want to exercise their options, right? They go in wig towel. Black women started that shit, right? Wig towel. Women going their own way. You know, and they made a profound case for it, didn't they? But it's like, when we say, okay, all right, that's cool. No problem. You know, we grant them their wish. But then they realize that the grass isn't green on the other side. They want to come back and then find that we didn't sit around and wait. We the ones that's wrong, right? Like Nice and Smooth said, can't have your cake and eat it too, girl. Yeah, it's raining outside, man. Nigga can't do shit. Nigga can't go outside nothing. So I'm just sitting here laid low, man. Fucking with y'all, you know what I mean? Word up. So black men, we tired of being shamed, man. We ain't putting up with the shaming shit no more. Or like you can't handle the strong black woman shit. No, I can't handle a strong black woman. That's bullshit. Nope, I can't. I can't handle a strong black woman. You're right. And that's why I found one outside of America. You know what I mean? Yeah, I married international. For the same reasons that some brothers out here that are SYSBM date interracially. You understand that? I married international, not interracial. You know, my wife being from Germany and being un-Americanized, you know, I couldn't deal with the westernized black females. I wanted a black woman, just couldn't do the ones that was here. There's some here, but it's like finding that proverbial needle in the haystack, right? All my Queens niggas, where you at? Queens.
Just like this, niggas get shit on rice. Yeah, you love to hear the story again and again of how it all got started way back when. The monument is right in your face. Sit and listen for a while to the name of the place.
Yeah, this is the SYSBM old school master mix.
Hip hop was set out in the dark. They used to do it out in the park. Everything that said his name and bring it along.
Otherwise known as Meat T Tom.
A brother who's known for his rap.
Jappy Jap.
Larry Lot, third beast not last. A cool brother by the name of Gas.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I couldn't deal with the bullshit. Too much bullshit. You're dealing with these Americanized females. You're dealing with too many daddy issues. And it's crazy because, you know, a rotten apple will spoil the bunch. So even if your woman doesn't have daddy issues, the fact that 90% of the girls she hangs with do still wind up having an effect on you and yours. They tell them dumb shit. I've seen women tell other women dumb shit. You know, when I brought a non-black woman home and we had barbecues and shit, and they went and served my plate and got me drinks and shit. My sisters and aunts, oh, he got 2 feet, let him get his own plate. All of them wonder why they ain't got no husbands. You know what I mean? Like I stated, man. I stated before, I'm black. I'm blackity black. Pro blackity black. Whatever the fuck that means. But I tell y'all straight up. If I'm faced with genetic annihilation because black women are no longer an option, like I said before, I'll just be a pro-black, biracial baby having fork-tongued fuckboy. Ain't shit none of you niggas could do about it. But the woman that's going to be ready to carry out my legacy and honor me, one that's going to value me and be grateful to me and agreeable and cooperative. A lot of brothers don't give a fuck what color she is. We don't held out for that pro-black shit while black women are saying we don't want you no more. Dudes ain't trying to do it no more. Y'all talking all that, oh, white people racist, Spanish people racist. Shut the fuck up. Obviously, the ones that's dealing with brothers ain't. Nah, I can't let him say that. Can't let him shit on Queens. It wasn't my favorite cartoon. The honeymoon.
No need to hate him, skin, you got him, I wanna get rid of him.
All we wanna do is in you. Yo, y'all know Nice and Smooth was background dancer for Bobby Brown. I used to write a lot of his shit. That ass, look it up. So, you know, what we try and get into is why are men going, that's why SBM, MGTOW, IVMOR, why all these men's suffrage movements, you know? So, understanding the rise of MGTOW, IVMOR, SYSBM, and all of that shit, it takes a little bit of a historical reference. Like, you need to know your history as far as being a black man in this country. You know, so like I said in the earlier podcast, you know, I understand how a pro-black man can be pro-black and have a non-black wife. Now, historically, well, I understand too why historically known pro-black men that only date black women are going outside of that black on black relationship dynamic due to the social and political climate in the black matriarchy. You know, this is why I said black men are starting to exploit their options. You know? So, like I said, I told my man Roger Reports, shout out Roger Reports, that I would sample his commentary because he did that video blog, SYSBM. Is it a patriarchal response to matriarchy? So, you know, go over there and sub to Roger's Reports. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you letting me use your content, all right? He had a couple of other dudes on the live stream with him. It was like a 2-3 hour live stream. You know, so but without ever meeting Roger's Reports or speaking to the brother, you can see how a lot of us black men who have never met have a similar understanding to what most of this SYSBM shit is about. You know? And it's going to show you how far brothers are willing to go to change the narrative. Mainly either by refraining from relationships altogether, MGTOW, or IBMOR, or dating out and trying other women all together. I mean, so I'm gonna play a sample of Roger's Report. Give me a second, all right?
This is dedicated to the pretty black young woman from AMG. It is like my inspiration back in the days. Way back in the days. AMG, please talk to me. Come on. Take my foot from. I'll spread the damn floor. Give me some, baby, you made it. Put your lips back up and flip it and rub it down. To the bone, call it when your mama ain't home. AMG, a 69 king, you gotta come up and take a pic like if I had from. I get a lot of baby because I get a lot, and I can get a girl that kind of hot when I hit the spot. Supernatural, very irresistible, and if you take a bite, it's very nutritional. It's called take a move by for the dum-dums. You can nibble on it if you want some. Take a move by, take a move by. Yeah, oh, I pull up my take a move by. Oh, I pull up my take a move by. Take a move by. Take a move by. Oh, I pull up my take a move by. Oh, I pull up my take a move by. Kills, but not this kind. I try to get ahead, but I get behind. I wish I was a little face full brown. So when you put them on, I can be home, sweet home. And if you gotta leave it on plan, tell me the chitter chatter. I wanna get it on. You know, like people talk about it, I'm the K9. Black print, 10 with a grin. So let me get a sip of this night train. So we can do the right thing. And be just like that head pumping, honey. Well, let me take your body.
Welcome to the Roger Report, the best show on social media. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about this SYSBM movement. And, you know, I see there's more traction going on with people discussing this particular thing. And I think as this thing is being discussed, what a lot of folks are not getting is that men are basically doing the right thing and they are being leaders. But because a lot of people don't want to recognize what leadership looks like, as men, we're supposed to be problem solvers. You know, men see a problem with the black community. So to solve the problem in the black community, they're gonna have to make certain moves. Now, keep in mind, I'm very pro black people dealing with other black people. Okay, that's just me. That's the way I believe things should go. I don't think the way America is right now and the conditions that we live under, I don't think is much of a benefit to dealing with someone outside your race. You know, there are some benefits to it, but I personally don't feel those benefits are enough because, you know, what comes with those benefits, because there's pros and cons to every situation. what goes along with those benefits, I personally don't think is good enough to date outside the race. But that's just my opinion. Okay, everybody has to make that decision for themselves. But as far as what's going on in the Black community right now, we have a matriarchy going on. And you may say to yourself, well, how can you have a matriarchy? Well, if most of our households are being led by women because men aren't in the home, then you got yourself a matriarchy. You know, now, no matter what people feel about that, whether that's right or wrong, at the end of the day, based on what I can see what's going on in this country, matriarchy don't work for the Black community. Okay? Now, there's people who have different arguments and say that matriarchy is good, you know, or I've heard people say we used to deal with matriarchy back when we were in Africa, you know, in ancient years, things were led by the women. All those things that may be said could very well be true. I'm not challenging any of those beliefs right now. What I am saying is I'm taking a notice of what's going on in this country. And what's going on in this country is the decline of men-led homes has been the decline of the Black community. Now, yes, there's other outside forces that go along with things.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, if you look at what's been going on in the Black community, men not being in the home versus men being in the home, which one looks better?
And in the home.
Now, understandably, in the Black community, yes, we've had more of a unique situation. We've had the situation where we came to this country in slavery. The goal for us as Black people was simply to work. Okay? White folks were building wealth off the fact.
Excuse me, Roger. But to answer that question, what's better, fathers in the home or not? When you have the father in the home, you learn about manhood in between the age of 12 and 17. When your father's not in the home, you don't start learning that till you're in your damn 40s. 2 felonies later.
The Black people were working and working for free. That was the whole purpose in bringing us over here. This country is the decline of men-led homes has been a decline of the Black community.
Intentional.
Now, yes, there's other outside forces that go along with things.
This is intentional.
But at the end of the day,
that is the main
look
factor.
at what's been going on in the Black community. Men not being in the home versus men being in the home. Which one looks better? Now, understandably, in the Black community, yes, we've had more of a unique situation. We've had the situation where we came to this country in slavery. The goal for us as Black people was simply to work. Okay? White folks were building wealth off the fact that Black people were working and working for free. That was the whole purpose in bringing us over here. There was no other purpose to bringing us over here. And that's what the goal has always been. And keep in mind, for those who don't know, slavery only ended over an economic issue. It was white folks who had a problem with other white folks because they didn't want to share in the wealth. The South was making more money on trades because they were able to sell their goods a little bit cheaper because the North did not have slavery, so they had to pay people to do work. Okay, so they had to sell their goods at a higher price. But because the people in the South were so greedy, they wouldn't lower their prices so the North could compete with their prices because they wanted to sell as much as possible. Peace to you, Raina Woman. I see you. Appreciate you being here, of course. You know that. You know you're one of my favorite people in all these YouTube streets. Now, when it comes down to it, white folks were doing what was good for them. Black folks came over as slaves. Now, once slavery came to its official end, because, even that's tricky, but when it came to its official end in 1865, black folks were dealing with segregation. Okay? Black folks.
Y'all understand how even if y'all get ready to go SYSBM, y'all get ready to go red pill, y'all understand you still got to be pro-black, right? You know, if you try to go red pill and you don't know your history, you know you're going to repeat the same mistakes your ancestors did, right? So this is the man right here that's not saying he pro-black, not even saying he SYSBM, but making one of the best cases for that of a pro-black or a man that's going SYSBM.
Basically had to fend for themselves. You know, yeah, we were set free, but black folks were dealing with segregation. Okay? Black folks basically had to fend for themselves. You know, yeah, we were set free, but we weren't given property. A lot of people who were just slaves had to turn around and go back to the same slave master and start working for them for little to nothing. And a lot of time it equaled nothing because the slave master would say, okay, if you work for me, I'll feed you, I'll clothe you, and I'll give you a place to stay. And it was the same place they were already staying when they were slaves. So we had to make a long track from being slaves to where we are now as black people. And before we even got to where we are now, that period between 1865 and 1964, that was 99 years of us versus them. And the line was clearly drawn. It was, you know, in the average situation, white folks wasn't trying to help us do nothing. We couldn't depend on them for anything. So black folks actually were patriarchal. We started building, we started advancing as a people. You know, things were tough, but black folks developed a lot of business, and we were able to compete economically with white folks. Mm-hmm. And they didn't like that so much. That's why you hear about things like Black Wall Street.
Well, you and
why it was attacked. It wasn't attacked because they were messing with white folks. It was attacked because they were simply being successful. Right. So patriarchy actually was working for black people. You had a group of people who came from slavery, who were given basically nothing, and they had to build and learn things and advance on their own as a people.
Huh? So when did we build Black Wall Street? During the Black Patriarchy. And that's why they wanted to destroy it. This is one of the points that I made in my episode as well. I said, once we went through with the civil rights movement in the 60s and they saw the black family united, man, woman, and child was too strong, they had to come up with a plan to separate the man from the woman. And that's when you saw the rise of feminism and the welfare industrial complex and the prison industrial complex, right?
From slavery, who were given because they were simply being successful. So patriarchy actually was working for black people. You had a group of people who came from slavery, who were given basically nothing, and they had to build and learn things and advance on their own as a people. Now, you go all the way up to 1964. You know, you had the black leaders who were fighting for civil rights. Civil rights were granted, but black folks mishandled integration.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna say that again. We mishandled integration.
Say that one more. Yeah,
Instead of
huh? So everybody's saying, "Oh, we fucked up. We did integration. We fucked up. That's what fucked us up." It wasn't just integration that fucked us up. It was the mismanagement of that integration.
A little bit.
Not keeping our black identity.
That's so.
You know. And like a lot of people say, you know, some of our people were just so bent on having access to, you know, white sexual favors that clouded a lot of their vision as well. And we also know that the main culprits were the boule. We know that it was the boule that really led us down the wrong road. The Andrew Youngs, the Martin Luther Kings, the Ralph David Abernathy's, Jesse Jacksons. You know, we know who the ones that they put in charge of the black community, the gatekeepers.
Black folks mishandled integration. You had the black leaders who were fighting for civil rights. Civil rights were granted, but black folks mishandled integration. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. We mishandled integration. Instead of doing what we should have been doing, we were working hard so we can be accepted by white folks. And that's really what it came down to it. Now we are in a time where we're now over 50 years from 1964. We saw what happened. We saw how integration was mishandled. We saw where we were then, and we can look and see how we got to where we are right now.
Right.
Now, where we are now, we have the majority of black women who simply do not respect black men because white supremacy has taught them that we are not worth respecting. White supremacy has taught them they are not to respect black men. White supremacy has taught them that they should not depend on black men. White supremacy has taught them to be afraid of black men.
Right.
White supremacy has taught them that black men will only try to do the exact thing white people did to black people, but they would do it at a much higher level.
Right.
Meaning it would be worse. We would treat them worse than the white people treated black people during slavery.
That's what Gloria Steinem taught them.
And white supremacy has always been taught to us in school and all forms of mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
Until you had social media, you really couldn't have a person like myself go on a television show and really talk and start pointing things out.
Yeah, we couldn't fight
that black
back.
folks need to look at because they wouldn't allow someone like me to come on television and say that. Because they're not in the business of helping black people. Black people may get a help here and there, but the business of white supremacy is not to help black people. So what they have done
So that's why they want to shut down all our channels too. They're not used to having the competing narratives.
Long period of time now, they have pitted black men against black women and black women against black men. And they have taught black women that they can pretty much do all kinds of nonsense, but they will not be punished by society. And they will be able to basically get away with whatever they do. This has not been the case for black men. People claim that there's an issue with accountability between men and women.
Right.
And it's really an accountability issue when it comes to women. Black men are very much held accountable for what we do in society.
We do.
If we commit a crime, we're probably going to jail. We're probably going to get tried, and we're probably going to end up in prison.
We get trumped up shit.
That's just the way it works for black men.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to black women, yes, there are some black women who will end up in prison as well. But most black women are never going to see a prison.
Right.
That's just reality. The percentage of black women going to prison versus the percentage of black men going to prison is very different. Black women have children out of wedlock. They cannot take care of the child. No one punished them for having a child and not being in a position to take care of the child.
Send them to China.
All they do is say, okay, that's fine. We'll just take money from a man.
Send them to China.
And we'll make sure your baby's taken care of. They'll give you a home to put it in. You know, the welfare system has always been designed to make sure women were okay. Now, truth be told, it was really for white women, but they pushed it to black women under the guise of, here, we'll give you this as long as you won't depend on no man and you won't build a family or a community with that man. Because when it comes to black people, the man couldn't live in a home if you were on government.
They saw the social destabilizing qualities of welfare. Farewell. They realized that, and this is what the Moynihan report was about. Daniel Patrick Moynihan said, if y'all keep up this welfare state shit, black women are going to become completely independent of their men, and that's going to have social ramifications that might destroy the whole race, which is what actually happened, which is what came true.
Okay, so what does that do? That teaches women how to disrespect black men.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not going to put me in a home, the government will. Right. It doesn't mean the man wouldn't put you in a home. It was just going to be more difficult for that man to put you in a home because they didn't have the same opportunities as other people. Now, over time, black men and black women have been fighting about all kinds of nonsense. And at the end of the day, because all this fight has been going on, what has been going on with our women? Our women have been going further and further away from the black family dynamic.
Swirling.
And black men have been getting fed up with black women.
Right.
Now, this may sound harsh, but I'm just trying to say what it is because people need to know this and understand this. So now you talk about movements that have come on. SYSBM, further away from...
Hold on. Because what the media did was they took a couple of little basketball players and football players and actors that had white wives, and they publicized that in black women's face and tricked black women into thinking that's what we all got, which is bullshit.
The black family dynamic and black men have been getting fed up with black women. Now, this may sound harsh, but I'm just trying to say what it is because people need to know this and understand this. So now you talk about movements that have come on. SYSBM, Save Yourself Black Men. Okay? Now, no matter what you think the movement is, it seems to me, because I've been looking into the movement, it seems to me that black men are simply saying they're going to be with a woman that is valuable, that is feminine, that is cooperative, and that is going to look out for his best interests.
Mm-hmm.
And based on those principles, I can't say that SYSBM is bad. Now, in this group, you're going to have some men who are going to say, hey, we should date other races of women because they're going to treat us better. I can't fault a man for thinking that way, but me, I'm not pro dealing with other races of women like that, so I wouldn't go in that direction. But I can't tell a man he's wrong for choosing to go in that direction if black women won't offer him a better deal. You know, if someone's going to offer you a job and they're going to pay you $10 an hour and you have the same job right across the street, but they're willing to pay you $20 an hour, I understand why you would take the job for $20 an hour. It's not really hard to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that has been missing in a lot of conversations is if black women won't offer him a better deal. There's women like that, so I wouldn't go in that direction. But I can't tell a man he's wrong for choosing to go in that direction if black women won't offer him a better deal. You know, if someone's going to offer you a job and they're going to pay you $10 an hour and you have the same job right across the street, but they're willing to pay you $20 an hour,
right?
I understand why you would take the job for $20 an hour. It's not really hard to figure out. But the one thing that has been missing in a lot of conversations is why is SYSBM important? And why does it even exist? What's the purpose of it? Well, the purpose of this is for black men to be happy. And at the end of the day, black men have a right to be happy. Now, men want to be with a woman. And truth be told, we can't stop men from getting with a woman and finding happiness. Because, you know, and at the end of the day, happiness comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
And I know me being a happy person, I wouldn't sign up to be with a woman who's going to cause me problems and challenge me every time I look up. Right. I wouldn't do that. Because that would make me unhappy. You know, because I'm not going to be okay being challenged at every turn, being disrespected. I'm not going to be okay being nagged. I'm not going to be okay with wasting a lot of my time. So certain things I could progress in, I can't do because I'm spending time arguing with a woman or trying to explain myself to a woman. Now, I was just with a young lady.
Let's stop it right there. Thank you, Roger Reports. So, I want to go with the analogy that the brother just said, as far as a better job offer. Now, Roger Reports acknowledged, he said he's not a big promoter of interracial relationships. However, in the context of the problems that exist in the Black gender war, I may add, bankrolled by white supremacy. But even as someone that's not into interracial relationships, he sees how a man could choose to date or marry out in the event he can get better treatment elsewhere. It's as simple as that. So the analogy was, the job offer. Okay, so you work for Lucretia Incorporated. Yeah, I had to use Lucretia. I know Lucretia. So you work for Lucretia Incorporated, right? Poor H&R department, bad attitude, bad pay, minimum wage, no benefits, you know. But then, down the block, there's another job called Miss Becky International. Same job, but it's $5 more, 20 an hour, with a benefit package, vacation, dental, sick pay. Which job you choosing? Yeah. Go home and tell your girl you turned down a $5 an hour more job with benefits because the boss was white. And see how fast she laugh at your ass and walk out that door. So just the analogy alone. And me too. That's the same thing I'm saying. I'm not a big proponent for interracial dating, even though I see some people that have been successful at it. And what's success? Joy. You got kids out of it. You grew old together. Y'all retired, left your assets behind to whoever your biracial children, and you moved on. That's success to me. So some people have been successful at it. You might look at LeVar Ball. Some people would say he's been very successful at interracial dating and married. So it's like brothers aren't going to sit back and just put up with the bullshit for the sake of trying to keep shit black, because that's what's not working. You understand? It's not working just keeping up for the front of being black. I notice there's a lot of now back to my little pro-black side for a degree. I see a lot of anti-black American Caribbeans spreading that SYSBM is an anti-black female movement. Like it's about hating black women and getting with white women, period. One dude that says there's a guy named Cash God. I see him talking about it. I see him in all the chats and the live streams talking about, oh, y'all just hate black women. Just admit it. This is a swirlers movement. Even though everybody keeps saying that's not what it is. This is all about shaming. But it's really about hating the hive mentality and that assembly line, like one size fits all when it comes to black women. We hate what the black woman has become. Indeed, we'll admit to that. Yes, we hate what she has been socially engineered to become. We hate that. Do we hate her? No. On individual basis, if a woman got me locked up, made me lose my job, took my kid, I might hate her specifically, but not all black women. You understand? But nah, we're tired of the bad attitudes. Meeting a woman and she already got 3 kids by 3 dudes. The ratchet attitude, non-feminine, masculine, undomesticated. Yeah, I meet more brothers that's domesticated now than so-called sisters. I know more brothers that keep a clean home and can cook a good meal and keep their whole life schedule than a lot of these sisters. A lot of these sisters, y'all overeducated, but y'all broke. Y'all got bad health. Y'all overweight. Y'all don't got no hobbies. It's amazing because even my son sees it. Like I said, my 18-year-old's in college. Every girl he bringing home, My 18-year-old asked him, what does he think about the girls? What girls does he like? What girls is he drawn to? You know? And he gave me a precise breakdown in his 18-year-old mind. You know? So he said the Asian girls are nerdy. The white girls are dingy and complete free spirits and do whatever the fuck they want to do. And he said the Spanish girls are the cutest and probably the easiest candidate to get pregnant because sex is such a big part of their culture. And this is at 18. But he said the black girls are ratchet. He said they're mean-spirited. He said they're over-aggressive. He said they're always fighting. They're always in some drama. There's always some bullshit around them. So even my little son, 18 years old, he told me this when he was 17. No, he told me this when he was 16. His junior year. And now he's in college, and he said the same rules apply. He said on the campus, the black girls is in the bullshit. The white girls is running around doing whatever they want. All the Spanish girl got a man, and all the Asian girls are valedictorian and walk around with nothing but books. Word up, man. So yeah, that's what it is, man. Yeah, like I said, I say again, once again, I appreciate Roger's reports for letting me use the commentary from his episode. You know, I'm gonna put this out. You know, I'm just chilling here with y'all, man. Just Pawn Self, the sun don't chill. Pawn Self, God, I know you heard that, but you know, I'm here with y'all, man. So tell me what y'all think. Put it in the comment section. And even though we making these points clear, and like I said, I told y'all before, yeah, y'all niggas be talking a lot of dumb shit, man. Y'all niggas talk about you can't be pro-black. I'm pro-black, man. I'm SYSBM, you know, and I'm married, man. Y'all act like all of these things are diametrically opposed to one another, you know? How many of y'all got a wife? Now, look, I'm not bragging. Yes, I am, but how many of y'all got a wife that's from Germany? So that's me saving myself. You understand? I've been dating women from international countries, fellas, for the last 20 years. Last 20 years. This ain't nothing new to me, man. You know, I got a history, man. Too bad I don't show photos of myself and all that shit, but that's whack anyway. It's not all about name dropping and shit like that, but, you know. All y'all people out there trying to miscategorize and mislabel SYSBM. And like I said, I'm not going to even sit here and say I'm a spokesman for SYSBM myself. I'm pro blackity blackity black. That's all I know. But it's anything to help brothers out here free their mind, because even though I'm pro-black, one of the biggest problems when you pro-black trying to reach brothers is the woman problems. The fact that a lot of brothers can't master that weak cipher stops them from bettering themselves and moving on to bigger and better things. They're held back by that Jezebel spirit amongst them. You Feel it up.
I want a girl with extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least hair, a Fendi bag and a bad attitude. That's all I need to get me in a good mood. She can walk with a switch and talk with street slang. I love it when a woman is scared to do a thing.
See, L, that's the problem.
Standing at the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop. Once she gets bumping, it's hard to make the hobby stop. She likes to dance to the rap jazz. She's sweet as brown sugar with the candy and honey coated complexion. Music cafe, let's see it for the girls from around the way. I say about it, I'm sick of it, push it along. You be all about it, although I feel black and grass, problems, I feel pessimistic.
What?
I say about it, I'm sick of it, push it along. You be all about it, although I feel black and grass, problems, I feel pessimistic. Why does it have to be so damn tough? I don't know where I can go. Let this ghost out of myself. My grandma's back, my brother's gun. I never read one still so long. I know you're supposed to be serious with me. Not just my spare tire. But I ask you, be my guy, what's the truth? Some strange things that had to be. He guided me to them. Take me to another place. Take me to another land. Make me forget all that was me. Let me understand your plan. Take me to another place. Take me to another land. Make me forget all that was me. Let me understand your plan. See, that's how I used to be. Come on. Let me hear you say,
Yeah, I'm about to be out, y'all. Much love. All my sons, everybody listen to the channel. All my sisters too that's down for the cause.
She was demonstrating, but nevertheless I was pleased. My team was going great and my soul was at ease. Till a couple of started plugging out. 40 hours, going 30 round and out. Disrespected my black queen, that queen. The crisis is being top six. Because I can see I know the time. Let that drunk thing I dance and they wanna fuck. Let me see a young couple having a time that's good. And they even wanna test the brothers, man. So they keep it just because of my heritage. And the South right brothers that I wear. I was a 20% of fashion. Maybe I'm the better married brothers listening. Well, I speak calm. If women's against me, keep it. I just brought to my dates and that. One Lord, the brothers that will show me. If I stop Please, the city to give you what you need. Let's go. All my team in the building, let's say. Come on, let's sing. get up, let's get down. Roll with the hardcore sound. Let's get with this black and dosage. Funk material so simple. When I rock with the instrumental, who am I? Control my career so I can never get stranded. But the rest are getting brand new and it changed up their style. From jeans to suits and thinking about a pop record. Something made for the station. For a whole new relation. Shit of a new type of scene. To go platinum, block magazine. AKA I sell out the rap definition. Get off that one, change the mission. Come back around the block. Pop color me bad to the tick-tock. Let's go on your logo. Not a black thing. My background sing for the source. Get man them, cannot charge. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo.
That's why SPM is the scenario. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, alright? When I get up to 1,000 subs, I do the live streams. Really cause some trouble, you know what I mean?
As I combine all the truth from the mind, hear the will, bring it back, come rewind. Powerful impact, from the cannon, never again. Try to make a ride, just imagine. Oh, can't you? Very necessary. When thinking you the library. Oh my gosh. Ain't I do like the one the toss. Along with the track, man. As I come back, you be chat.
Man, rip up stages. I'm wild and rap gigs. I grab my dick. Go pop kids and drop bombs. Put the shit on the petty. Bad news. Never lose. Death on the phone.
Skills on polo. You say, oh no, you be chat.
Pro black, old school, that's why SBM jam. Fuck y'all niggas.
Yeah.